And now for something completely different.
Dino!
Hi. Hi.
Do something anime.
Ah! That was pretty anime.
I mean,
right?
Which Super Saiyan was that?
8.5.
Jesus Christ!
What color hair is it? Is it blue? Is it pink? We yellow still?
So it's a rainbow. I get the rainbow.
It's just rainbow and it rotates like neon.
Yeah, like a lazy Susan.
Like a lazy Susan!
It's around my head.
Which the hair is in fact in the shape of.
Yeah.
It's just a disc on top of your head that
It's a
spins.
disc on top
and your
of my
most
head that
powerful
spins.
the most powerful attack is to just nod your head forward and it's like a hypnotic disc.
You should see me charge people head first.
I really hope that your choice is Dragon Ball Z. Now that you've said this.
Right.
All right, welcome to three people arguing
Disagree.
about which anime is best. Now,
it's
I'm going to
yours.
go out on a limb, and I'm going to begin by guessing both of yours. I think Dinos is clearly interspecies reviewers.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Let's watch it right now.
I'm learning a lot about
Let's
you.
go. Let's go.
Yeah, Dino,
Let's do it.
that's more than I ever needed to know. Oh yeah, let's collectively watch that.
All right, guys. Next
Nah,
video
man.
is interspecies reviewers react.
Nah, I'm good.
And I think Aaron's is the best anime ever to be made, which is Sword Art Online.
No.
That it sounded like a yes for a moment. There. There's a lot
Jesus
of
Christ,
silence.
yeah, I think actually I just called. He's just changed now. I think
Why
I just
did you-
called
did
him
you
out.
just-
That
did you-
silence was shit.
I thought you were going to go for something like, I don't know, The Simpsons or something dumb, but no.
I mean, I did go for the height of dumb, if I'm completely.
Hey, the first 3 episodes were great, and then it turned
Yeah,
into,
the first 3 episodes.
and then it was a harem anime.
Oh, cool.
Utter
Good. Yeah.
garbage.
All right. So
All right, so each have
I like
the
how
anime
you
we
said
think
it like
is
you're
best.
offended. Like you were.
What? I'm offended. It's
I was
awful.
really invested in this storyline.
Actually,
It's
we
so
were.
trash.
It was really good.
Yeah, it's so
That's
awful.
hilarious.
It's so awful. All right, we have 8 categories, 3 animes, and time to argue and agree, and we'll see what happens. I think is the keynote here. Firstly, reveal your choice, Cotton.
Mine is CODEGEASS, honk honk.
No. Oh, no.
That is pretty good actually. Yeah, that's not bad.
Oh, no. I haven't
Honk,
watched
honk.
that. It's like
Oh,
one
you
of the...
haven't?
You
Oh,
haven't
no.
watched that?
It's like the only...
What is wrong with
Like,
you?
I can't. I won't say anything. I give up. I forfeit.
I give up,
I'm
surrender.
not ruining this for you.
It's like the only one, like one of the only main animes I've never watched.
Lelouch v Britannia commands you to watch it.
Yeah.
What is yours? Hollow.
It's the winner, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh shit.
That's a pretty good one.
You know, you two have
I've seen
taken
that
this
one.
very seriously.
I've seen that one. Well, I was.
What did
told,
you? What's yours then?
Okay, look, I have not gone for my
Is
personal
it Cory in
favorite
the?
anime.
Is it Cory in the house?
I have gone for the one that I think is overall objectively the best.
Okay.
And that is One Piece.
I thought about One Piece,
Ooh.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you can't go
See-
wrong with the second most sold
It's-
manga
oh,
slash comic of all time.
oh,
I was
you
gonna go with-
absolutely can though.
I was gonna go with Slam Dunk, which is a basketball anime, but I thought you guys would call me a bunch of nerds. I'm not. Okay.
We're arguing over which anime is best. I know.
I was having a.
Plus, that's more of a
joining
Chad
into
thing.
it. I
More
was
of a
joining
Chad
the
thing.
conversation. Yeah.
We're the nerds.
And look, I realize if we take specifically just the anime,
I feel like if
But
anyone's going to call me a nerd in the anime community, it's the people who don't like sports anime.
sports anime is awful.
It's like the nerds
that
of
is
anime.
not
for sure.
true. That is
The only good
objectively
sports anime
not-
is that anime where they fight with their asses in a pool.
It's literally
That's not
just
the name
like
of it, though.
sports, but without the limits of regular humans.
So what?
It's,
Hang on, what kind of anime do you watch other than One Piece? If it's like that reviewer, interspecies reviewer, and then some sort of ass battle.
I don't watch these.
It sounds like you do.
I just know of
I'm
them.
just aware
I just
of-
know. I am cultured. Okay.
I look at the thumbnails and then don't watch it at all.
I
It
keep
is
up.
art.
I'm the only one here who keeps up with the seasonals. Thank you, as I
I
push
am
my glasses
so-
up my nose.
I
so
don't
sorry.
even know what that means.
Literally, we have 3 levels of viewing here.
It sounds
All right, so category numero uno is one that I admittedly am going to bow out of very quickly, and that is animation.
What do you mean? I'm fighting on your side all of a sudden.
Yeah, what do you mean, man? No, One Piece is
you
great. It's
insult
got really
One
good
Piece.
visuals.
If you ignore the first 10 years, what do you mean?
I was gonna say I never got
alright,
to that point in One Piece where it wasn't bad.
Oh, it's so
The first
good, though.
200 episodes or so are fine, and the
They're
latest
manageable.
50 or so are fine, and everything in between is hot garbage.
Oh no.
It has its moments.
Yes.
It's like One Punch Man. It's literally like One Punch Man. Like every now and then there's like a brief moment like, whoa.
I watched someone do a calculation, and roughly a third of the episodes are just stretched out, repeated frames.
Yeah.
Like, not literal filler.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
The canon material just stretched out.
Yeah.
So there's about...
So they're basically
That's
playing it in
just-
slow motion, like hurting your eyes.
Yes.
But that's One Piece
Yeah.
as a whole at this point.
No, the manga is still incredible.
We're not talking about manga. We're talking about anime.
Yeah, well, we will get there
You have
eventually.
chosen a poor path.
No, I've not, because it's still based on the best manga of all time. So
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. Talk about your anime, Dano. We've been talking about One Piece for like 5 minutes.
All right, so CODEGEASS is pretty cool. We're talking about the animation. It's relatively simple, but it's really nice. Everything's really pointy. Like if you look at the characters, their chins. Everyone has a pointy chin. Every single person has a pointy ass chin.
That's
And-
true.
and
It's
so
one of the
glad-
few things I
I'm so
know.
glad. I'm so glad that you're here. You know what? The best thing I could say about the aesthetic of my anime is
Pointy
it's pointy
chin.
is
I'm trying to somehow find a way to like separate the style of this from another one. I'm just like their chins are pointy. It's a thing.
Don't worry about spoiling anything. I should have watched it by now.
Okay, the lighting is really nice. It's sort of simplistic, but like they knew what they were and they stuck to their style.
Yeah, like it's quite old at this point,
Yeah.
and it shows in some cases. But the thing is,
You don't think it
doesn't need
holds up?
because no, not really. But it doesn't need it because it's not
Yeah.
about the visuals. It's not
Oh,
really
yeah.
a fighter. It's a mind show.
Ah,
It's
like
Death Note ilk.
Yeah.
Yeah, exact same line.
But it's the best of those I've watched by far.
What?
And its ending is perfect.
But we just said Death Note.
Correct. I
Yes, but Death Note,
fighting for
unfortunately-
Death Note here, am I?
Look, I
Should've
think
watched
it very clearly goes to Full Metal.
You're
Alchemist,
goddamn
Bradley.
right. You're goddamn right.
Like,
it speaks
Like
for itself.
Bradley,
Look at-
Bradley's little charge through
Whoa,
the tank
whoa.
is one of the most gorgeous things you've ever seen.
I know, but I know. But like, you just look at it, like from a still image, let alone the animation. It's like leagues above its original, and it was on the remake was made like just a couple years later. It was insane, and it kept the style intact. But also, it's been 11 years since that
It's
came out.
still-
By the way, 2009, and it
And it
still
does
looks
hold up.
perfect. It literally reminds me of like
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli. So they killed it.
Yeah. All right. Voting time. Dino.
I vote Full Metal Alchemists on this one for
Yeah,
sure.
I vote Full Metal.
I
Alchemist.
too.
Enjoy your only category.
Whatever. All right.
Out of interest, who would you have gone for?
The one I've seen or the one I haven't seen?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, you've seen pictures. You know their chins are pointy, so.
I'm gonna go with chin pointy. One Piece, you done me dirty.
Next up, story, which I win.
Yeah? Are you really?
No.
You can't compete with
No.
2 decades of
Oh, I
masterful
can't.
storytelling.
Long
There
doesn't
are
mean good.
things,
Long
right?
does not
There
mean
are
good.
things in like the first 10, let's say, chapters or episodes, depending on your medium, that come back to be relevant like 800 chapters or episodes later, and it's like, wow,
See,
the world building.
to be fair, I am limited to only having watched like 150 episodes of One Piece.
So
I love that I can say
love
that.
that One
So
Piece
for-
is a show that you can say only 150 episodes.
for a story, that's true. For a story though, you do have what is it? Let's see, 89% filler garbage.
Yeah, but we don't care about filler. It's not canon, all right?
Oh,
We don't
sorry.
care about
Okay,
that.
I'll watch an episode that's canon. The
I'll
most
watch every
recent
5
episode.
episodes.
Let's see. We've got 7 minutes of filler, 30 seconds of canon. There's 5
Yeah,
more
but that
minutes.
doesn't get this. The actual story still follows the story of the manga, and it's one of the best stories ever told. It's over 2 years.
4 seconds of
I wonder
canon
why it's
there
been over
between the
22
filler.
years.
All right, you have watched One Piece, you piece of shit. You try and tell me something like Enies Lobby is not an incredible bit
It
of
absolutely
storytelling.
is, but it unfortunately takes a massive hit when there's 200 episodes between that of just not garbage.
or
I
Skypiea.
see this from like actual One Piece world. Like the world is fantastic. The characters, I love it. I love it, but I can't pretend that it doesn't have horrible issues as an anime.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But I still think it has to be noted how incredible an achievement it is to still keep the standard of storytelling it does after 22 years.
That's
of
fair
weekly
enough.
releases.
That's fair enough.
True.
No, like you can't argue between 800 episodes and two like 50/25 episode series. 'Cause,
I don't know. Code Geass, man. The
No, I'm arguing in favor of you. You can tell a much more condensed,
Okay.
compelling story when you only have
Yeah,
to do 25 episodes of
yeah.
it.
Like every moment.
I am
in
so
Code
gonna
Geass.
win on that point, but it's later on. That's later on.
Okay. Okay.
All right, well, why is your story the best? Either of you.
Dinah, you go.
Okay. Well, my story is the best because it's essentially just like all planned out from the very first moment of the show. Like it's all just unfolding twists and turns. The end, like I swear, like 85% of the episodes of this anime end on a twist that is actually meaningful to the story. It's ridiculous.
Sounds
Even
cool.
Even the shoehorned high school episodes
Yeah.
are still quite enjoyable.
Yeah,
Is there a
and-
beach
I don't know why they
episode?
felt the need to do that. No, there's not actually.
and there's the whole
Garbage anime.
and I just love. See, this is hard because like I'm sort of blending into characters a bit here because obviously the story lines up with the characters.
Oh, it's so hard.
But I love watching the characters grow through the events of the story because like in this world they almost feel like real people. At least like the main couple of characters feel like real humans rather than just shoehorned characters. And
That's fair enough.
there's moments like the command to Suzaku being live and
See-
how often that comes up and how impactful it is.
This is very difficult for me because the overarching story of Code Geass is much better than either of ours, but the moment to moment of Full Metal
Yeah.
Alchemist is better.
Yeah, I can agree with that from having watched both of these two at least.
I can't really
Like
comment.
nothing in Full Metal Alchemist can compete with something like Nunnally.
Oh god, and like Euphemia is still one of the craziest things to me. Like it's a whole story, massive story moment based on the main character making a simple, well, quote unquote simple mistake that leads to just this entire massive just destruction of people's lives.
To put it in context, the Nunnally bit hits harder than the dog bit in Full Metal.
Bullshit.
It really does.
That's actually hard. Now that you've said that, out loud,
Yeah,
that's
right.
hard.
Which is the more powerful moment?
sorta
Her
hard.
shooting up the crowd or the dog?
Ooh.
Dog.
You've not seen the other one. Pipe down.
It's pretty heartbreaking. Like the amount of characters that this is legitimately affecting, like in the moment too. It's a thing. It's
Exactly.
hard. And then like the ending of Code Geass is like I think the best ending that I've seen to an anime in my
Yeah,
limited
it's
watching.
hard to stick an ending that well,
and
which is why
and
they
they're
shouldn't be
releasing
doing more.
That's anime.
Why? Why
That's
though?
anime.
It's so good.
And I admittedly don't like. Well, I don't mind the ending of Full Metal Alchemist, but I don't love it.
Yeah. On my point, yeah. All right, you want me to talk now?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah,
talk,
do it.
motherfucker.
All right, so you got two boys who are like 9 years old and their mother dies, and they try to bring her back using alchemy before they have any concept of it. And one of them literally loses the arm, and the other loses his entire body, and the other sacrifices his leg to get him back, and they attach him to a piece of armor that's in the room. And the whole like story is them trying to recover their bodies, and while they're trying to do it, they're doing it by they're trying to find like this secret artifact basically to save them, get their bodies back, get full body back, and they uncover a sort of government conspiracy, history of horrible war, monsters that are in power, literal non-human monsters, and the truth about why their dad abandoned them, which is fantastic.
When you put it like that, it sounds good.
How you can argue that like it's one of the most concise, zero filler, zero wasted time storylines
Yes.
I've ever seen, but it's not 25 episodes, it's
True.
64, and they did not
Yeah.
waste any time.
Yeah, that's the
But
thing. is-
nothing in Full Metal Alchemist has the kind of holy shit plot twist that actually works and isn't just isn't
Bradley
just cheap
being
like
a
Code
certain
Geass does.
character.
I don't think that's the most plot
you-
twist. I don't think
You see
all
it
along
coming,
he
though,
was
like-
Wrath
like,
is really
it's
yeah.
sort of
Like, I
like
don't think
they-
that's.
they lead up to that pretty openly. I feel like.
I mean, them going into the world. I still have that image. I still
there
have
are
that image of him going into like the other world where his brother is, and like I'm coming back through your body, and he does the point, and like the doors are slowly closing on him. He's being pulled away, and he's just fucking pointing like, "I'm gonna fucking save you." Like, are you kidding me?
Is the most emotionally compelling story, but how much stock do you put in the Death Note-esque? Oh shit, he just played that guy. Moment?
Yeah, obviously those are.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about that.
Code Geass is the best chess game.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying there was at least 10 times in Full Metal Alchemist where I'm on the edge of my seat, like, oh my god, you know. Like, but
I will say that
parts of Code Geass, I was legitimately just looking at my stream, just like, oh yes, 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 or oh my god.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to defer to what Josh thinks because I haven't seen both of them, and obviously Dino can't vote for his own.
Well, what is your vote, Dino?
I think I'd have to go for Full Metal Alchemist just because, like, I've from the amount of One Piece that I've seen, which is obviously like none of it. It is. There's large gaps between the storytelling.
Well,
it's just the main thing I feel like.
Okay, but stuff like him punching the world noble is as impactful as anything.
Oh yeah, that shit crazy. But you got to wait 780 episodes.
I feel like.
Yeah, but because of that wait is what gives it that much.
Nah, man, you should have been like 150 episodes, and then you see something like that.
I also feel like One Piece is like a lot of comedic punch timing more than it is like trying to do the like really deep, specifically emotional moments like that.
We'll get there, but I think a massive part of like the story versus world, One Piece is going to win out on world. Like, we'll get there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Either way, I vote for Code Geass story. I can't. It's too good.
Yeah.
Guess I do too.
Which means you have to tie break. All right. Okay. That's one each to you two, but that's all right. Next up, ding 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 ding, characters. And I don't think you can compete with a cast of characters that is hundreds across, and yet each of them is still as fleshed out and compelling as One Piece.
That's cheating. You got 800 episodes.
It's not cheating. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's lasted that long that you've managed to make that many characters compelling. And even if you just consign it to the Straw Hats, each of them is, well, loved for a reason. You're trying to and tell me that Zoro isn't incredible, Aaron?
Don't ask me that. That's cheating.
Yeah, I am going to ask you that because it's your weakness.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, is he okay? Look, all right. Both the brothers are incredible,
So
but
inspiring.
past that, the drop-off is huge.
I think for One Piece, like, there's a lot to be said about, like, yeah, there's like 1,000 characters, and they still have so much detail and interesting history and interactions, and like you said, hundreds of episodes later, it's like, that's what that was about.
Yeah, exactly. People get fleshed out so well.
And even though
backstories
I can argue, and I will in a second, about, like, you know, the detail of my characters, 64 episodes is a lot easier to keep high detail on characters compared to like 900 and whatever.
And
I don't get me wrong, CODEGEASS is one of my favorite animes of all time, easily top 5. But I can't remember anything about anyone other than Lelouch.
Me neither, dude.
I was about to say, like, what I was sort of alluding to earlier was there's like 3 or 4 characters where I'm just like, man, I latch onto the character. You can see the arcs, you can see them developing, and then there's a lot of just sort of, I have one role throughout the entire series, and I exist for this.
Like anti-Lelouch, Mr. Goody Nightman.
Yeah.
That's his entire his entire personality.
Oh, I disagree with that. Suzaku's like
Suzaku. That's the
important
one.
guy.
Yeah, but they're very one note. They all exist to serve a function.
They sort of exist to be like polar opposites of each other that have to.
Yeah, but like Callan has like 2 things going for her.
Yeah. Okay, Callan, I can't really argue too hard for, because I like Callan, but I can't deny that, like, she was sort of two-dimensional, like, regardless of how it ended.
True.
Yeah.
But the main thing for me was both Lelouch and Suzaku ended up like going through these massive arcs where, like, at the beginning they had their ideals, they had their plans, and then they went up and both became just massive hypocrites on their paths.
Sounds like Death Note.
I just categorically think there are more compelling characters in One Piece than there are in, well, for example, CODEGEASS, and they're compelling for literally decades.
Like, I'm arguing this, but I already think that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood definitely has an advantage over me in this one. Like, having not even seen all of One Piece, I know that I definitely think that Full Metal Alchemist is better. It's like the
Well,
amount of characters that
I think the main thing we see, and that's actually kind of a comparison to what you said, is like the story that you go through twists them and then turns them into something negative. Yeah. You see all this horrible hardship and really harsh, dark paths and literal murder and losing family members and horrific mistakes and transfigurations. And they go through it. Yeah, they change, but it's like the two main characters basically swap. It's like Edward is like the hard, tough one, and then the big knight is like, you know, gooey and friendly and sweet. And then towards the end, it's not necessarily that they've completely changed, but they've both grown and they're both a lot stronger. And the reason that they are is because of the people they're around, like their redemption and sort of re-meet with Hohenheim, their father, and like what he teaches them, and that like coming together with that. Winry being like the perfect character to beat down Edward and put him in this place constantly. Hawkeye with Mustang, Armstrong and his sister, like it's so good. Scar as well, and his redemption, going from like a murder machine to becoming, you know, someone who accepts what's happened. Their character progression is undeniably fleshed out and realized and orchestrated perfectly. It was so hard to compare 64 episodes to 950 of a story that is far from finished.
Yeah, and you still get character moments that are as powerful as like Usopp fighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even after all that time,
there's moments in One Piece that still tearjerk with me, even in 1,000 episodes. It's insane. But I think there's a big difference between One Piece being formulaic and this short story being told not perfectly per se, but like masterfully.
Yeah, but I guess it's how much you want to give how a character changes to story rather than the characters themselves.
Yeah, I think it's really hard. I don't know what I would vote for, if I could say mine or yours.
Well, you can't say yours, so Dino, what's your vote?
Go. Me coming in with the tiebreaker, unless you want to vote for CODEGEASS. Just saying, Hong Kong.
I can't. I don't know it.
Why is the goose here? I'll just go ahead and collect my points, I think.
You going anywhere with that?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and write One Piece next to World, which is the next category.
Just say your bit. Come on.
Just say my bit! It's one of the largest, yet varied, ridiculous, yet interconnected worlds you've ever seen in your life. Every island is essentially its own genre, but still within it, right? You go from, Sky People to Samurai Island at the latest. You have everything, every weather, every environment, every culture, every era in history, all tied together in a world with an incredible magic system in devil fruits, and an incredible basis in pirates, because everyone loves pirates, and the whole thing is just set up masterfully. How can you argue a world that has been built for 20 years that is that vast over basically just, England with a bit of sci-fi?
Hey, it's not England with a bit of
the fact that you knew I was talking about you when I said that already defeats you.
It's not England with a bit of sci-fi. It's Japan occupied by England.
Oh, sorry.
Can't save the queen.
Look, say your bit.
I can't really argue that. Yeah, I like the world and everything in Full Metal Alchemist, but it's ultimately like, okay, they've got like their field grassland. There's the really cool design to like the capital city and everything, and I really appreciate the world with like the equivalent exchange world and how alchemy works, and it's really cool with like the factions of characters and how, you know, evil isn't necessarily black and white, good isn't necessarily black and white. People have to do bad things for the right reasons and vice versa. But I can't argue. Like One Piece, like when they go to the underwater city, what's the name?
Fishman Island.
Wow, is it really called that? That's just weak.
But
anyway, when they like found the way underwater, like the whole like underwater waterfall system, it was fantastic. One of the best like reveals of an area. But then also like when they go to the floating island and how like the mystery of floating island and like the history of characters that think they know or heard things and how they reveal it and like get there. It's fantastic. I can't, unfortunately I can't argue that that world is just too clever and unique.
All right. Cha-ching. Well, no, we should vote, of course. So
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm gonna go with
I honestly don't know who I choose between your two for world because they're both.
Same dude.
I think I would go Brotherhood. My world
Yeah,
is
I
a
think I
hellscape.
would. Just because I
Ooh.
prefer that more time period. I don't like modern stuff generally. So
Yeah.
That's just my
I mean,
own
it's
bias.
basically just
All right.
3 empires took over the entire planet. This is what happened.
Yeah. All right. 2-1-1. Next up, theme song
Let's fucking go.
soundtrack.
Let's go.
He's just stood up like, all right, okay, all right.
This one's over, man.
Let's just hold on before we even talk about the best one, my one.
Look,
why
all right,
don't we
you
talk
can
about the
take-
English version of One Piece's soundtrack?
That was gonna be mine. All right. Look, you each get to link one bit of music from your relevant.
I don't need to
anime.
say anything. I just need to laugh.
Look, you're trying to tell me that the English pirate rap? Listen to this.
Oh, unfortunately, I have.
Is that not the best thing you've ever heard in your life?
Oh.
Look, all right, One Piece has a bajillion openings, and some of them are absolute masterpieces, and some of them are utterly awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So
It's iconic.
it depends.
It's like
It is iconic.
It's like what's that YouTube channel that like does Yu-Gi-Oh voiceovers? Oh, it's like they created this.
It's very average,
CODEGEASS?
I would say. Like it's a nice song. It's sort of relaxing on like
It's
compared
not bad.
compared to
It's
what
not
the show
bad.
is. Like
Yeah.
I feel like the song doesn't
I-
quite match
yeah,
what
it's
the
nice.
show is. But it's
I don't
nice.
think it's iconic though.
No, I would not.
It
Like-
sound. I could put that soundtrack to pretty much
Yeah.
100 animes.
Like literally, I was thinking about this beforehand. I was just like theme song. Wait, what's the theme song sound like?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, but
that's insane.
joking aside, right?
Yeah.
Tell me
The
that
soundtrack.
the OG doesn't encapsulate pirate adventure.
It's a good meme. It's a good meme, but it's a meme, and it'll always be a meme. But you just like you listen to the Full Metal Alchemist one, and it's just like your heart's beating. Like holy, she's about to go.
Yeah, collect
She's about to go,
collect
and then
your-
she
your-
does.
your
And then
free
she
point.
does.
your free point, you smug git.
I will. Thank you.
I would like to say, the fucking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood soundtrack is one of the best
Oh
soundtracks.
man, yeah. Thank you
It
for
is,
bringing
yeah.
that up. There's this
So
one
it is
moment.
just incredible.
There's this one moment where Ras like walking up against like these thousands of army soldiers into his own citadel, and they've got like these drums. And I spent unironically like for like 2 weeks trying to find the original song to that. Apparently it doesn't exist, and it's just like created for that moment. I was heartbroken. But I do have a Tumblr page still saved now in a bookmark because back then that was the source for music or YouTube.
I'm glad you're telling
Right,
us.
of course.
It was just, oh my god, like it wins.
I vote for Full Metal Alchemist.
Goddamn right you do.
Brotherhood.
I guess I vote for this.
Hell yeah.
I guess that's okay. I will collect my next free point when it comes to fights.
Oh. Ooh.
All right, I'm gonna say my piece
No.
first before you get to yours, because.
All right, say your One Piece.
All right. Oh god. Oh man.
You gave him that. You gave it to him. You handed it.
You did.
I'm looking at my
You
hands
did.
like, oh, I'm a monster.
Here comes the airplane.
What have I done?
Here comes the airplane as the spoon goes right towards his face.
Okay, so the alchemy is obviously really cool and clever, and the way they use it is very varied and intense, and there's some cool visuals, but it's always been more like what's at stake and like why are they fighting. There's like moments of like torture, like where Lust versus
Mustang.
that like where he literally burns her alive constantly to a heavier heat to like punish her for what she's done. That was crazy.
Yeah, that is
There's
just-
definitely
oh.
amazing fights like Wrath every time he's just fighting on screen. My god. But you know, ultimately it's just kind of minimal, and it's about why they're fighting. I would compare it to like My Hero Academia. Like I love the characters and the world and everything, but the fighting is like, you know, why are they fighting more than like, whoa, look at what they're doing.
Yeah, but I'd say One Piece has that too. As cool as it is, the feeling behind the fights is still
Definitely a big
thing.
part of it, but it's still like
I mean,
I feel like
Yeah,
the
but
double
3 words
give
for
you a
you.
big advantage though, as far as fights go.
like Luffy versus Lucci.
yeah, it's just like it's creative, it's varied. I mean, you should be fighting your own point. I'm not arguing against it. Like
Well, I just the volume and variance again because of Devil Fruits. Everything is just you can have everything. You can just make up any kind of power and have a cool ass fight.
I feel like half your categories boil down to there's 800 episodes, so there's just so many. It has to be good.
Yeah.
For something to still be good after that long can't be ignored.
I think it says a lot that in like episode 3, where Luffy stands in front of Zoro as he's about to be shot, and like the bullets go through him and they bounce back, and it's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
It's like that's what it's all about.
That's true.
Or even
Color
just
reveal.
very early on watching Zoro try and fight Mihawk is.
Oh
just-
my
yeah.
fucking
That-
god,
oh.
dude!
Yeah.
Oh my god! Sorry.
Or Zoro's nothing happened.
Ah, stop! Come on.
Exactly!
You're just like,
Exactly!
oh, Zoro doing this, oh,
You just,
Zoro
like,
doing
I just keep saying Zoro, then Aaron
Hey,
will
hello,
vote for me.
do you remember Zoro?
Do you know this one character you really like?
Fuck you. What are the fights like in CODEGEASS? Do they fight in that? You said they don't really fight.
Okay,
Yeah, they
so
fight in-
do.
they fight in
Yeah,
mechs.
they have, it's like it's Gundam style. They do that type of fights. I feel like with CODEGEASS, you have to almost treat like the individual chess moves as the quote unquote fights, because like that's what it is. It's like it's him beating his opponents through tactics.
Is it like battleground, like, you know, controlling lots of units and, you know, strategic, or is it literally like me robot punch other robot but better?
Sometimes it's just sort of like there's two leaders in command of like a group of them, and sometimes it's more of a 1v1 type of deal.
Okay. That's not like, it's not like a consistent theme of like, okay, next 10 episodes is now stronger. Next 10 episodes is now stronger. It's very different, I think.
Who's your vote? Daniel.
I gotta go One Piece.
Yeah, Uno piece.
Uno Piece.
All right. Next up, the category is source material.
I win. There is none.
Wait, what? Wait, really?
CODEGEASS is anime first.
What? Wow.
Yeah. So you mean that is your source material.
Yeah, so
I
my
guess-
source
that's
material is
actually-
the anime, so I win.
That's actually unheard of to me. I've never
Especially
heard
for
of that
something
before.
So
Yeah, that is-
good too. Like
That blows me away that they could have something that's respected that was originally an anime.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Answer first.
That's
crazy.
insane.
That is insane. I did not know that. That's fair enough.
that's like I don't even know how to argue that.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah, but then you are up against what, like 960 chapters?
So,
nothing versus
before-
960
before you
chapters.
say
Yeah,
that-
but the thing is, the reason that the anime being that long doesn't help is because there's so much filler and stall and poor moments and it's poorly done. Whereas the manga doesn't suffer from that. All of it, every
Yeah.
panel of that 960 chapters is incredible.
Yeah, it's often like too much for a page to read. It's like it's one of the slower
Like,
reading
it's
mangas.
Insane. It's one of the best drawn as well. It's so good. Like the anime butchers it most of the time, but the actual source material, especially for that long lasting, is just ridiculous.
I can compare. I think the source material.
Also,
The source material for Full Metal Alchemist was like in creation when they started releasing the original, and they got ahead of it, and it like really destroyed the quality of the original. Like Full Metal Alchemist was ultimately all right, pretty cool, but all right,
Yeah.
and then they had to remake it, and then they smashed it. But because they had to
Both the ones
remake it, I
Brotherhood.
think it's a nasty hit, and unfortunately, it just can't compare to either of you really, because they fucked it up the first time.
and I mean, as much as numbers aren't the most important thing, like it being the 19th most selling franchise of all time, including everything, like for Pokemon being one, to put it in context, the fact that a manga has reached that much is insanity.
True.
Like that is pure. So that's why I chose it more than anything. Because again, it's not my favorite anime. It's probably not even in my top 5. But I do think it's the overall
Really?
best
That's
because
surprising.
the influence it has is just shocking.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Basketball anime.
I honestly don't.
The source material is literally basketball, guys. That's pretty cool.
Even though you say that, even though One Piece is obviously colossal, I still have to give it to CODEGEASS. Like they didn't have a source material, and they come away with something that's so revered and like one of the main grandstand animes. They have no source material, and they did that. That's insanity.
Yeah, that is fair enough. And
I go for One Piece.
given that I can't vote for full metal,
No, you
I
can't.
will vote for.
I mean, you could. It would just
CODEGEASS.
be
Yeah,
clear
but
that
it's
you
not
were
fair.
it'd be a very clear agenda.
Yes, it would.
All right. All right, the final category then is overall. So this is the one that I really chose One Piece for, because it doesn't have the best animation, it might not have the best story, it might not have the best in any given category, but it is the most consistently good in any given metric you could think of. Full stop. I think it is the premium jack of all trades, but it's not. It makes it sound average neat. It's like a 8 out of 10 in every category you could think of, and then like above that in a couple.
I don't know if it's like a master of anything, but it is. It is like.
I think it's a master of. I think it's a master of world. I think that's
okay.
The
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
Its world building is next level.
CODEGEASS, I would say the story is probably just the best story that I've ever experienced in anime for sure, but just like definitely top stories in just like entertainment as a whole. Like that's the amount of twists, but the way that it's not like, it doesn't feel like the twists are forced, more as like they're all part of the one greater plan that the story is following throughout. And it just that, but it's like, I say it's a 10 out of 10. It feels like it's more than a 10 out of 10 because like there's so many categories for this show that aren't a 10 out of 10. But I feel like the story raises the show as a whole up so high.
That's why you watch it.
Yeah.
It's a masterpiece.
Like, I feel like it raises the overall.
There's a reason. There's a reason CODEGEASS is on the list of. You've not seen that?
Yeah. Like when I have to say, "Oh, I've not seen that," I knew the reaction I was going to get.
Yeah, like
yeah. Whereas if you say you've not seen One Piece,
yeah,
it's like, well, fair enough. There's 9 million episodes.
Yeah. No, for Full Metal Alchemist, I can agree. It's funny you say the world is the strongest. The world is probably the weakest for Full Metal Alchemist, but as far as like as I mentioned earlier, you have series that are around 20, 25 episodes and have some of the best characters and story and so well crafted, and they're able to say these things and get away with these things because it's just 20 episodes. They're like so condensed and thought out every second, but somehow, despite it being kind of a middle ground between that style of anime and something long form like One Piece, with 64 episodes, there being no filler, there being a point to everything, there being connections everywhere from like early to end, you know, they've got meme-worthy moments and wholesome interactions in between it all to fill out like a character, to flesh out a character, but it never is invasive and, you know, wastes time like it does in One Piece. You know, the moment where, you know, it's Mustang says it's raining, you know, the heartbreak phone call scene with a certain dad, the dog, you know what I mean? I just can't. I think it is ultimately, and I think this is where I maybe have a stronger set here, is that you say yourself, One Piece might not even be in my top 5, whereas Full Metal Alchemist is my number 1. Since I started watching anime, which I started with Bleach, and then it was the first anime I think I found.
Yeah, man, why didn't you bring Bleach?
I know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It ended after the first 2 acts.
Yeah, that show is 64 episodes
That's
long.
right.
No one can ever
He
convince me
saved
otherwise.
her and it ended. But yeah, like I've watched it once. I've watched the original. I've enjoyed the remake. I watched the film. I watched the remake again with my girlfriend at the time. And I now can say 100% after talking about it and bringing it up again, I'm going to watch it again. It's on Netflix, by the way. So it's super easy to watch.
I guess One Piece is the only show that I've kept up with for such a length of time.
Yeah,
that
it says a
it's hard
lot.
to-
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a
just a
part of your
thing.
life
Like,
at this point.
Yeah.
Either way, our overall, I guess, will be decided by, I mean, who won the most categories, since
That's
the
the
whole point.
fairest
I
way.
guess, or else it'd be sort of pointless.
Which means 2 points to CODEGEASS.
What?
Honk honk.
Honk
Quack.
honk.
They say quack, right?
Quack.
2 piece
No, that's a duck thing.
to Full Metal, and then 3 points to One Piece, motherfuckers.
This feels
disgraceful.
engineered. This feels
We're gonna-
engineered.
Oh, weird. What's the channel called? What's your name, Josh? What's your alias?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Interesting.
Oh, how did this happen? Either way, there you go. It's official. One Piece is the best anime of all time. So
That's not what this was about.
This doesn't sound right to me. My brain does not compute.
either way, let us know how you like this, and let us know if you want more. But until next time, goodbye.
Right.
Goodbye. This is the brand new outro to tell you all the things that you do that we love. So let's start with something simple and say, oh, we love your eyes. When they're watching us play video games, when we make a bunch of jokes that are kinda lame, or when they gaze upon our failures as we try to kill the monsters or important news about the kingdom Animalia. Rage, Continent, Hollow, we're all here talking about the things you want to hear. So if you want to be the first to hear, like and subscribe and the bell and we'll cheer. Some of you are patrons, even though we are all the noobs and you're the pros. There's nothing we can do to thank you. No, really, there's nothing we could possibly do. Goodbye.